Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to UncutAlly. My name is Allie A.
Yes, it is. My name's Chris. Sippin' shows.
And today we're talking about episode 4 of Rick and Morty season 5 on Sippin' Shows, where we sip on some shows and sip on some drinks. Today is also brought to you by Taco Bell. I think last time was too. What happened to you?
It's just not good today.
Oh, that sucks. Mine is good. I have you can't see very well, but the strawberry freezy.
It was so good because I had to drink it because it was overflowing everywhere in the car.
Yeah. Unfortunate. What's the pop-up on your computer say?
Something about some.
Okay, perfect. As long as this is recording. Anyway, so we open the scene.
I like this episode because before intro, feels like a mini episode.
The what?
Before the intro, it feels like that's the whole episode. I don't know. It just feels like a tiny little. That's
it is the intro.
I know, but it feels like that could be the whole thing.
It is the whole thing.
Now I'm confused.
We didn't even talk about what it was yet, and
okay.
He's talking about it. Anyway, so we're at the horse hospital where Beth works, and Morty's like, come on, I want to watch this goddamn movie. And she's like, hold your horses. I said that. She didn't.
She should have said that. So
then Morty sees this contraption, and he turns it on, and it goes. It's like a...
That was good.
Thank you. It makes a sound. It's a contraption meant for jerking off horses to collect semen sample.
Semen extractor. Are those real?
Probably. Why are you asking me?
Allie knows all the answers. Answering Allie. That's what her name is.
I do not know about horse semen. That is one topic I'm not well versed in. I apologize.
Ah, damn.
So anyway, he's fascinated by this, as a teenage boy would be. So then Beth comes out and she's like, all right, what's the latest piece of Marvel shit that you want to see? Which I loved. Because Marvel just puts out so much shit.
It just puts out?
Not like bad, but like too much. Chill out. Although I heard Black Widow's good.
I heard everything's good. It's annoying. I heard Loki's good.
I've heard Loki's very good.
Heard Loki's good. Still heard WandaVision's still amazing. God damn it.
Maybe we'll watch some of those and talk about it on Sippin' Shows. Yeah, but maybe. We're not. Not today. Today's about Rick and Morty. So anyway, then he's like, hey, you guys have any volunteers here? And she's like, who are you? He's like, I'm interested in your work. So then we cut to 1 week later. Morty is chilling on the roof. Weird.
He's a dirty little doggy, Allie. Of course he's chilling on the roof.
Yeah, of course he is. And he is living his best life. And then we see Rick pushing a gallon drum full of horse semen. Morty's like, what you got there, buddy? And he's like, oh, the Chuds, which are the underground cannibal horse people. They're not friends, they're enemies. And he's like, I'm going to use this horse semen to make up like a monster horse or monster sperm or something. I forget what exactly it was, but like a monster thing to take out the horse people. And he's like, oh, that'd be great. And then he's like, but first I got to test it, make sure it's horse semen. Then Morty gets very defensive because he knows it's not horse semen, it's his semen. So he's like, oh, why do you have to test it? That doesn't make any sense. You should just trust it. If it's horse semen, it's horse semen. Did you even ask mom if you wanted? And he's like, if I wanted to steal horse semen. And he's like, fine. The fucking things that people your generation would die on.
But how come he just rolled it all the way from her office?
Yeah, how far away? I didn't even think of that. Did you turn off the AC?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I just thought about it. How far away is her office that he rolled it? He has a spaceship. He has a car.
He has portals.
Why did he roll the gallon drum down? That's a great question. I didn't even think of that.
Dramatic effect, Allie. He knew. Maybe he knew all along.
No. Knowing Rick, I feel like he already tested it. I knew all of this would happen. But I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe he wanted to teach Morty a lesson in a fucked up way. Because he likes to do that, doesn't he?
So anyway, he's like, fine, I won't test it. So he plugs it in and he's like, it'll be fine. You know, the superhuman amount of I don't know, remember what, but like it's a superhuman testing thing that he's putting. Oh, that's it. But it's superhuman sperm, so it'll be fine. And then fades to white as though like a flash grenade went off. And Morty wakes up, and there's just giant killer sperm everywhere. And Rick's like, oh, it's all my fault. I don't know what happened. I must have fucked something up. And then Morty's like, unless there's something I didn't know. And then Morty's like, oh, what are you trying to get me to say? And he's like, what are you talking about? I have no idea what you're talking about. He's like, oh, really? He's like, yes. And Morty's like, okay, it's all your fault.
I just don't. I mean, that's crazy for Rick to admit, like, he fucked up. He, like, never admits he fucks up. He always, like, this is intentional.
Super sus. I know, like, I feel like the writers were just going for it to, like, set up how Morty doesn't do this. Like, he doesn't lie and shit. Which is, like, with the whole point of the episode, how Morty doesn't lie, so everybody trusts him. But it was all his fault. I feel like it's just all that set up. But it's very uncharacteristic of Rick. I feel like part of me has that theory that he knew the entire time.
He had to, man.
And that's why he's like everything that he sets up is too unlike Rick for it to not be Rick knowing, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that.
So anyway, then we have the theme song. You know? So then they're fleeing. They're fleeing from the space sperm.
I'm driving.
Yeah.
I'm driving.
So Rick calls it space sperm. It's not space sperm, but it's killer
Rick's
sperm.
Rick's a good liar, yes. So it's okay.
He's like, space sperm. And Summer's like, geez, how big are space dicks? And Beth's like, don't answer that. I bet they're giant. Anyway, so they're driving, and he's like, sorry, I'm busy avoiding the bodies of our neighbors. And then he runs over them. He's like, that felt like Gene.
Who are these fucking neighbors? I want to meet the neighbors. I want the neighbors to come over. I want to be best friends with all the neighbors.
I just love how he's like, that felt like Gene. Like, he accepted it. He accepted that was Gene.
What characteristic of Gene feels like this?
Maybe he's felt Gene, if you know what I mean.
I mean, it's Rick's.
Yeah.
Would make sense.
So
I'm Mr. Nimbus.
He fights, fucks, and flees, man.
Sorry, I had to bring him up.
Other than Mr. Nimbus. When is Mr. Nimbus going to come back, huh?
He's the ocean.
He is the ocean?
He's got to come back. Is
it recording?
Oh, yeah.
Cool. So, then that was my shoulder.
What the fuck? Oh, no.
I hope that picked up that loud crack. So then a plane comes in, and it's the president picking them up, and he's like, you're in fucking deep shit. And then they're walking through the tunnels. What were they?
The Kennedy sex tunnels.
Yes, okay. I couldn't remember which president it was. And Rick is like, Morty, you gotta cover for me, buddy. You gotta just go along with it. You can't tell them it was me. And he's like, yep, okay, not a problem. And he's like, that was very weird. Very weird for you to agree so easily, but I'll take it. And
Rick knows.
And then, so they're talking to the president. The president's like, Morty, you'd never lie to me. Tell me, was this your grandfather? He's like, sir, this is the greatest country in the world, and we know nothing about it.
Morty lies now.
Yeah, Morty lies.
Like, he's pretty good at lying. It didn't feel like a lie. It felt like the truth.
Morty lies.
Name of this, if the episode names, Morty lies now.
Morty's a liar. So then the president's like, all right, well, we're declaring war against the Chuds then, because it's definitely them.
Just assumes.
So then the leading expert on sperm, Professor Shabubu, comes in. I hate that man. He comes in, and he's like, thank you for coming on such short notice. And he's like, oh, it's okay. My schedule is completely clear. Because he's the leading expert on sperm. And he looks like a mess. Like, he's a mess. So he's like, if we're tracking them correctly, they're going to the Grand Canyon. And Beth's like, why are they going there?
He holds up a sign that says America's G-Spot.
He does?
Yes. The sign of the Grand Canyon says America's G-Spot.
That's hilarious. I didn't even know. I feel like I was taking such notes I wasn't even watching. I was just listening.
Yeah. It's like a podcast.
Yeah. So, we're doing a podcast. Grand Canyon. Beth's like, come on. Really? what are we, teenagers? Which is funny because the sperm is teenager sperm. Not that that matters.
But is it?
But like, yes, it's Morty's sperm.
There's only one sperm that's Morty.
There's always one sperm with an eye like Morty.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean they're not Morty.
Yes, they're all Morty.
But we're not there yet.
Fuck.
So I just thought it was funny. She's like, what are we, teenagers? And I was like, yeah, the sperm is. So then, so then he brings the sperm expert captured a sperm and he brings it in. And then he's like, we just have to do a DNA test to see who it was. So Morty shoots it because it's going to be his. He's like, oh, it had a gun. And then Professor Shabooboo was like, they can't hold guns. And the president's like, how dare you bring an armed sperm into my room.
But then he didn't fire him.
Why would he fire him? He's the leading expert on sperm.
Because he's tried to kill everybody, supposedly.
They need him. So they're Morty and Rick are like, all right, well, we'll go to the Grand Canyon and we'll blow them all up. Give me all your nukes.
They should have kept some spares. I mean, come on. Don't give every single nuke. Bad idea.
So Beth's like, oh, Jerry, we're being bad parents. Do something. Which is like, you fucking do. I hate when a parent is like, our kid, can you do something? It's like, bitch, I got just as many parenting skills as you. That's why we're married and have a kid now. You know what I mean? Like, she could have done something.
Yeah.
So anyway, in Jerry style, Jerry picks up, he looks at the water. He's like, is this for everybody? And the president's like, yes, and I am thirsty. So Jerry starts being his water boy. And then he looks at Beth like, so what are you doing?
Jerry's got a job now. It's okay.
So Summer's like, I want to come. And they're like, wow. The president's like, oh, I don't think their leader's going to be a sexy woman who needs to be kickboxed. Remember that. I feel like I have one remember that in every episode. Because they always do such good callbacks to like small moments that you wouldn't think would be called back to.
Yeah, I didn't realize this one.
Yeah.
Until the second time we watched. I was like, oh, fuck.
Which is why we watch it 2 times. Also, you gotta watch things 2 times.
First time, you're spinning up the brain. The second time, your brain is working.
Sounds like a computer.
Yeah, hard drive spinning up.
Like your fan when you start your computer, like.
Don't make fun of.
I'm not making fun of it. I appreciate it and all it does.
Me too.
So then the Summer gets left out, and it's like, fuck them. So it's all male Marines, and they're in the plane, and it's making a joke about how Marines are so like overly manly and tough. Watch it, you'll see, or you can think about it. So what happens next? There's Blazin. Blazin is like the ninja Marine.
It's a weird side character for me. He like did nothing. I don't know.
I think that's kind of the point. And he looks so cool and badass, and he doesn't really do anything. So
yeah,
he's like in all red. He's the ninja one. Then the sperm builds a trebuchet, not a catapult, and they start throwing rocks at the plane. So then they parachute out of there because they gotta.
You ever built a trebuchet?
No.
Or a catapult?
No, have you?
Of course.
Yeah, white people. Is there more to the story?
No.
Nope. You just built one in your fun, a full man-sized one?
No, it was a tiny one. We built it in STEM class back in middle school.
I went to a poor school. Sorry. I grew up in the hood. I'm sorry. We didn't have STEM classes back then. That's a lie. Man. We had math. So.
Math? That's the only one.
And science, I guess. Yeah. We had SM classes. We had some. We had some classes. Get like some. I'm on it with the puns today.
A fire princess.
Aw. That was so cute. I'd rather be an ice princess. No. I don't know what I'm not going through this dilemma. So, back to the show. They don't catapult. They parachute down, and the Marine's like, all right, well, we gotta figure out a plan. And he starts drawing in the sand, and then somebody else starts drawing in the sand. He's like, only one of us can draw the plan. It's only him, Blazin, Rick, and Morty. And it's a sperm drawing in the sand, actually, not one of the other guys. So that sperm like impales him, and he's like, "Oh, what are we calling them?" So then he impales him. The what are we calling them is a callback. The president was trying to think of names. Mm-hmm. It got bleeped out, so I didn't know what all of them were.
Yeah, no clue. What's the name, Allie? What did he settle on?
In his death, the Marine who was passing, because he pulled a grenade and he's like, I'm dying, so I get to choose the name. They are Krispy Kremes with a C. Which is a lovely name.
I like it's with a C.
Well, it's because Krispy Kreme, the donuts, are with a K.
Yeah, you can't do that.
They're cream. You get it.
I get it.
He gets it. Do you get it?
I finally get something, everybody.
If there's one thing Chris gets, it's Krispy Kremes with a C.
That's me. I'm Krispy Kreme.
We're only calling Chris Krispy Kreme with a C from now on.
Oh, no.
So then we cut to they like are running out. Morty stumbles upon a sperm that has an eye and like is smaller than the other ones, and his tail is stuck under a rock. Question: how did his tail get stuck under a rock? Other question:
how's there one that's different?
How does he look different than all of the other ones? He's also like nicer than the other ones. Doesn't associate with the other ones.
He's like 100% Morty sperm, I feel like.
Yeah.
The rest are like a little bit of like some horse and some Morty.
Enough horse semen.
Yeah, that they're not just Morty. Like he's just Morty.
I'm just Harry.
He's got two wiggly bits.
Why did you sound like a gangster from New York? You're like, got two wiggly bits.
I don't know. I'm just Harry.
Just Harry. We'll link that video below.
Cool. That's a good one.
So anyway, Morty's like, hey, it's okay. I'll let you go. You know, I'm going to call you Sticky because you're stuck and you're sticky. Because he's sperm. So he lifts up the rock, and then Rick and Blazin come out, and Rick's about to shoot it. He's like, no, let him go. And they're like, what? It's a killer sperm. And he's like, no, let him go. So they let him go.
And they're like, I don't know why we did it, but we did it.
He's like, what is wrong with you today, Morty? So then we cut back to the president's war room, and Summer realizes, Beth's being all snarky, of course, but Summer realizes oh, no. Blazin, before we cut to that, sorry. Blazin is like trying to find out where the sperm are, and he like is smelling them. Very weird. So they find like a giant cave vagina.
Yes.
That the sperm's made. You can tell. And so he's going into a cave. So then when we go back to the president's room, they lost where Rick is because he's in a cave. So they're like, all right, well, the son of a bitch has all of our nukes and he's gone off the radar. Well, we need a new plan. So then Summer's like, what does sperm want? Eggs. What if we just built a giant egg for all of them to go into? To like attract them all. And then Professor Shabooboo comes on in and he steals Summer's idea right after. This is the exact same thing she says.
Yeah, that's rough.
And then the president's like, get MIT on the phone and get this man a Nobel Prize. Beth goes over to Summer. Today you became a woman. That's the social issue. Other than lying, social issue is how women get all the responsibility and none of the credit.
I hate that. I wrote down women always get overshadowed by a man saying the exact same thing in a slightly different way.
Yeah.
That's what I wrote down.
Even if it's not in a different way. Like, we could say the exact same thing, but you will get the credit for it.
Yeah.
Despite me putting in the thought of it. Which, I love Chris, but you like to do that shit.
I do that, but I know, I think about it. I'm like, God, why do I accidentally do it all the time?
Call anybody who does it to you, fucking call them out. I don't care. I know it's difficult in some settings, fully understand. But I call you out every time you do it.
Yeah.
Like, I'll be like, oh, we should just move the chairs this way. And then Chris will be like,
5 minutes later.
what do you think if we just move the chairs that way? I'm like, huh? Where'd you think of that idea? You're so smart. You're so smart. Where did you think of that? And then he starts like laughing and he's like, I don't know. I'm sorry.
I just It's my own problem because I think thoughts that you say are mine eventually after like 10 minutes.
It's like, we are the same person, but fuck you. My least favorite is when I will have an idea for something that involves other people. And I'll tell Chris the idea, and then he'll tell everybody else as though it's his own idea. Oh, and I'm like, can you at least tell them, like, hey, Allie had a great idea? So I tell him, I'm like, did you think of that? So he goes back and he's like, oh, yeah, that was Allie's idea, everybody.
Sorry.
So at least you try and make up for it.
I try.
He doesn't do it very often. And it's like for nothing serious. He's a cute tea and a sweetheart.
It does happen a lot.
Yeah.
In like more serious situations. And like probably more intentionally. I literally don't like do it by accident.
I don't feel like for most men who do that, it's intentional. It's just so integrated in them.
Yeah, which is not good.
I feel like for so many men who like they just do not recognize the female experience.
Yeah.
So they will like hear what some woman says and then think in their brain that they're interpreting it in a different way and like growing upon it.
That's true.
But they actually just did not fully listen to the woman, because why would I expend that energy to like fully listen to you when they actually are just saying the exact same thing? So I don't think it's like a conscious effort.
Yeah, no, that's happened to me too though. If you explain something, I like think I'm adding shit and you're like, nope, that's exactly what I
He'll
said.
just reword the exact same thing. Be like, the sky was blue today, and you'd be like, I think the sky looked a little bluer, right? And then I call him out on it. He's like, no, I was trying to like reiterate what you were saying. I was like, why? Or at least say, yeah, you're right. The sky was blue. Like, acknowledge me.
Yeah. So it happens to... It must be a widespread issue. Have you seen it happen with like other things in your life? Like not me?
Not in person. I mean, I've been mansplained before.
Yeah, that sucks.
But I just don't talk. I just started talking in situations.
That's true. That's true. There hasn't been much experience to...
But I mean, it's a worldwide issue. Every woman has some sort of story where a non-woman has spoken over her or taken her idea or something. But anyway, that's a social issue, and it's a common theme. There's something later on that also calls to like inequality and women being overshadowed and receiving all responsibility and no credit. So anyway, we're gonna build this giant egg. So while they're doing that, we cut back to Rick and Morty. And we're in the cave, the sperm come, and Blazen's like, I will hold them off. It is my destiny. So then he's like, you think he's going to do some like badass, like shh, because he's so ninja cool.
Yeah, I'm so ready for it.
And he pulls out his sword, and he says something. And then he like throws his sword, I think, to catch it.
Yeah.
But he throws it too high, and it gets stuck in the cave ceiling. He's like, oh, I can't reach that. That's too high.
And then what happens, Allie?
What does he do? Oh, so and then his pants fall down over his ankles.
Yeah. And
he's wearing a thong. And Rick's like, what the hell? And he's like, what? It's comfortable. And then his sword falls and impales him. Just the saddest way for a badass to die.
Guess he's not a badass.
You could still be a badass and die sadly.
Yeah, it's true. Oh, it's so rough.
So he's like, oh, he pulls out like a crumpled up page of Sports Illustrated. He's like, tell my wife I wasn't wearing her thong when I died. And they're like, this is Kathy Ireland at Sports Illustrated. And he's like, yeah,
real?
I don't know.
Okay.
He's like, yeah, it's my wife. We have sex. Show me a picture. We'll have sex again. He's like, don't worry, I know how to suck myself. And then the sperm eat him.
Yeah.
Rick's like, oh, that guy was not as cool as I thought. And he didn't buy us any time. So
This guy.
it seems like Blazen's wife is imaginary. And he's a little fucked up. But now he's dead. So who cares?
Great.
Then
resolution.
Yeah, who cares? And Rick gets, like Han Solo, he makes a joke about how he's, what does he say? Hand job solo.
Hand job solo.
So it's like all semen. He's just like stuck in like frozen semen.
It's gross.
He's like, oh, this is the worst time to be kept alive. And you see the sperm queen. She has like robotic legs and she's massive.
But how's there a sperm queen?
Why is she different?
How's there a girl sperm, Allie? Sperm is all...
Sperm is sperm... Does sperm have gender? Yes.
Sperm is... It's like literally the like quote unquote male component, and then the egg is the quote unquote female component, correct?
But characteristic wise,
I guess
they're both just genetics.
Yes, they don't have genders.
They're just DNA.
They're just things.
Because when both are together, I know, because the male carries the gender,
Carries
right? So I guess it would make sense that there would be. I don't know. I haven't been in a science class in a while.
Allie only did some, so she doesn't understand these things.
And no, S was in there. So don't quote me on any of this. I don't remember. We'll need to brush up on birth.
I did fucking STEAM or whatever. I don't know any of this shit.
STEAM?
Fucking, they threw art in there and call it STEAM now.
That's weird.
I know.
STEAM VR?
Our children are going to go to a STEAM school. Yeah, STEAM VR.
We're not going to have children. Anyway.
That's right.
So they take Rick and Morty, and it comes out. She goes on this whole monologue about how she's going to have a sperm army and they're going to take over the world. And it comes out that Morty's their dad. And Rick's like, oh, you fucking little pervert. How did it feel? And he was like, fantastic.
Commercial break.
So she has this whole setup with the horse semen extractor. And she's going to take more of Morty's sperm to make a whole army. So they have him laying down on a table, and obviously the thing is going to come down and do what it does. So he's like, Rick, do something. So Rick like topples over, so he's on his back. He's like, so I'm not in your fucking eye line, so he doesn't have to watch his grandchild get jerked off. There's a lot wrong with that. Pretty sure that's a rape in some way. To force that?
Yeah. But
his sperm... That's a weird sentence. I'm not delving into that. So then... Sticky comes and he saves the day.
Yay, Sticky.
And... Sperm Queen... Oh.
The sperm has memory of all the times that Morty's jerked off before.
Yes.
Which was pretty weird. I wrote that down. I was like, what the hell?
They know all about their fallen brethren.
They must have all like been a community in there already. They all like shared knowledge across generations.
They're like, we're your shame incarnate, you know? It's gross.
I guess like they didn't even duplicate yet. That was just all the tiny million sperm that Morty's jizzed out that just got really big.
Yes.
I thought they already were like duplicating for some reason.
No, you shoot out a lot of sperm.
Yeah, that's true.
He was doing it for a whole week. It's a lot of sperm.
That's a lot of sperm. How's dick fit in there anyway?
It's massive. It's meant for horse penises.
How does dick fit in there?
Oh, you're saying...
flip side. His dick's tiny. Not that his dick's too big.
I don't want to know.
Okay.
I don't want to know.
We'll keep going. Keep it going.
Sticky is saving the day, and then the sperm queen starts kicking his ass, and she's like, you should have brought a woman who knows how to kickbox. Call back to Summer, who should have gone.
That's why you got to watch it multiple times.
Yes.
You understand.
Or you just watch it the one time and listen, as I did. You notice things I don't notice as well.
I noticed that it said "Can America's G-spot." I'm very
observant. Not Summer. Sticky saves the day. Like, I don't remember how he gets out of it. And then Rick like chokes out the sperm queen. It's pretty clear he didn't do a good job. Why didn't he shoot her? She didn't. It's clear she's not dead.
Yeah. What the hell?
So then they leave and they set up all the nukes again. and there's a rumbling. Morty's like, usually earthquakes in Arizona? No. Wait, Grand Canyon's in Arizona? I thought it was in Nevada.
Keep talking.
Anyway, so Rick has these like glasses.
It's in Arizona.
Huh. I'm stupid.
Are we close? Can we go drive to it right now?
That's not the point right now. We'll look into it.
It's only $20.
What's only $20?
I don't know.
The Grand Canyon. We're gonna buy the Grand Canyon for $20.
Sorry.
So Rick has these like heat thermal binocular goggle things, and he looks and he's like, "Is that a giant egg?" Because he sees them going towards Vegas. He's like, "That makes sense, but why now?" It's the fucking giant egg, and he's like, "Oh no." So then they make it to Vegas. Unclear how they made it to Vegas.
You forgot them calling the president first.
Oh, right. They call the president. Do you want to talk about them calling the president?
Yeah, they call the president, and they say, "President, that's a giant egg."
Right. They don't go there yet. So, but we go there.
We go there.
We cut to them in Vegas, and they're having like a massive party. President's partying. Cirque du Soleil's there.
Yeah.
Summer's upset that she's not getting any credit, of course.
It was her fucking egg too. Like, come on.
We're not there yet. So he's like, where'd you get a giant egg? And he's like, "Oh, it's your granddaughter's." And they're like, "Oh no." And then Morty finally confesses. He's like, "It's my sperm, sir. You can't make this baby. It's my sperm, and I'm gross." And they're like, "God, Morty, we're all teenagers, but you're disgusting." And then he's like, "You can't make that. And then the phone gets destroyed. It's the fucking Chuds.
The Chuds are back. Never seen the Chuds before.
And then Rick finishes his sentence. He's like, "Incest, baby." So one of the Chuds is like, how'd you know that? He's like, "No, I was finishing a sentence." Like, "Oh, okay." So then
Chuds.
It cuts back to the people in Vegas. Jerry drops the water. He's like, "Oh, these are dark times for everybody."
Now we're all in our darkest hour.
And the president's like, "We need to launch it into space now before the sperm can get there." And Professor Shabubu's like, "No, it takes 30 minutes to launch. Nobody knows that because they only show up to the last 10 seconds. So then Professor Shabubu commits suicide because he does not want the responsibility for making an incest baby.
This sounds so weird.
Yep.
This is a weird one. I think.
Everyone's a weird one.
This one feels especially weird.
Because there's an incest baby.
Yes.
Like, they've had kind of sex before. Summer, Rick, and Morty.
Yeah.
Back in the dragon episode,
world.
They had like mind sex. They say soul bones.
They soul bonded.
Yeah, soul bones, which was uncomfortable, but hilarious. That's a good episode. I love that episode. I don't know why.
Really? I did not like that.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe it's just because Mask Off plays by Future. That's a good time. That's a good song. So anyway, Rick and Morty and Sticky are all captured by the Chuds. They're about to be boiled alive. There's a war. They're like, "Fuck you, Rick. You had sex with my daughter." He's like, "I did?" He's like, "Oh, fuck, I did." So they're gonna boil them alive. And then the king's daughter comes in, Princess Ponetta. She comes in. She's like, "No, you can't kill my Rico." I love that she calls him Rico. Only her. She's the only, like, it's not a Chud thing to call him. It's just her. She's
got that old-timey dialect.
I guess. I don't know. She's weird. She's like, "I call upon the 17th article, blah, 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 and I grant him immunity I declare peace among the humans and the horses." And they're like, "On what grounds?" "On the grounds that Rick is the father of my child." So the king's like, "I have an heir." And Rick's like, "I have a severe drinking problem."
Yeah. I'm surprised. The world's been getting more fantasy every time.
It does.
This season.
It gets very fantastical.
We haven't left planet. No, you know what I mean? Like, usually we leave planet a lot, but in this season we've, like, Mr. Nimbus is on planet, so are the Chuds. Like, I don't know. It's pretty weird.
Yeah, it doesn't feel alien anymore. It's not like, oh, these are chuds, the humans from another dimension, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, no, they've been here.
Wait, even the duplicating episode, like the clones.
Clones?
The decoys.
Oh, yeah, that was all on like one planet.
But you remember how crazy this stuff used to get? We'd go on these weird planets, like a butt planet and like all this stuff. Like we haven't been off.
No, we went to planets in the sex episode with Summer and Rick.
Yeah. I don't know, just interesting.
Yeah.
Less than we used to.
And then Planetina was on this Earth. Or this planet. Very odd.
Very weird. Social issues on planet.
That's Chris's social issue.
Yeah.
So then one of the guys in the chud crowd, he's like, the prophecy has been foretold. Also, did someone drop a scroll? I just thought it was really funny.
That was super funny.
Then we cut back to Vegas, and there's just like gallons and gallons of spermicide. And they're like, how do we get all this? President's like, it's Vegas. So.
Did it make you want to go to Vegas at all?
Nope.
Made you want to go less to Vegas?
Yes. Very much so. There's a sperm army there.
We can avoid them.
We can avoid the sperm army.
Take a detour.
So then they like set up a what is that called?
A wall.
Barricade. And they're shooting at them, and the spermicide's working. Beth and Summer are right next to the people with guns for Summer. Well, who thought that would be the safe place for them? Where's Jerry? Those are my questions.
He can't pour water anymore. I don't know.
He's just gone.
Wait, he disappeared.
Where did Jerry go during all of this?
What?
So then, what is in my eye?
Liquid.
Beth sees one of the sperms with a bomb attached to it. She's like, is there a problem with the bomb one? They're like, let the men handle this. And of course it blows up a hole in the wall. So Beth and Summer become badasses. They're like, you ready to take all the responsibility for none of the credit? And then Summer's like, let's Nancy Reagan this bitch, which I loved that. Again,
explain that to me.
Nancy Reagan did like all of the work.
For what?
While Ronald Reagan.
Oh, really? Yo.
And he like took all of the credit for it.
Wow.
So then they ride on the sperms, not in a sexual way, in like a badass.
Like a horse.
Ride it like a horse to get to where they need to go. To start fucking shit up. Although we don't see them fuck shit up.
Yeah, what did they even do?
They didn't do anything. I guess they killed some of them.
Yeah, they like steered into a few, but
yeah, they killed some of them. Also, the Cirque du Soleil people were also fighting alongside. They were killing it. They were doing a better job. And Amazing Jonathan was there. I don't know who that is. But he came, and then there was a whole long joke about pulling out the sperm's heart and saying, "Is this your heart?"
That was rough. I didn't like that.
That was the point, that he's not very good. But then the Chuds come into battle, and
they showed up at Excalibur, which is just hilarious. At the big castle.
I didn't even notice that.
Like out of all the giant hotels, they all showed up at Excalibur. That is not a good Vegas place.
My favorite thing is that they came in like old timey, stereotypical like fantasy type of kingdom. They're like chuddly duddly ho. It's what they scream into fucking battle.
Yeah. Oh, we forgot to mention that the egg is on Luxor, which is hilarious because the Luxor is a piece of shit. Yeah.
I didn't pay attention to anything. Anything of the Vegas part, apparently.
Luxor's awful. That's the one where we went to breakfast and you got the mimosas.
I had like 10 mimosas that day.
Yeah.
And I was fine. They were delicious.
They were just pure orange juice.
Some of them. I feel like they were like, this bitch is crazy. Anyway, so then we get to this battle, and the president's like, oh my God, Rick made peace with decades-long war with the Chuds. And they save the day. And then the fucking sperm queen comes back and she's crawling up the Luxor. Now I know it's the Luxor towards the egg, and she's like, I'm gonna do it. I need my army or whatever. And then Morty's like, Sticky! So Sticky knocks her off the Luxor. But you need to remember, Sticky is a sperm. So he sees the egg. And he goes into the egg.
Fucking Sticky.
And then
Couldn't believe he did
they're
that.
like, oh, we got a heartbeat. So Beth, I think it's Beth.
It was Summer.
It was Summer.
Mm-hmm.
She takes like a rocket launcher and she's like, well, oh well. And then the president's like, nope, this is an election cycle and that is a living thing now. So then they shoot the
Luxor.
The whole Luxor?
Yes.
I didn't even notice that.
With the egg.
I thought they just shot the egg.
No, the whole Luxor's gone.
I didn't even notice that. They shoot it into space. They're like, it's space problem. Space is problem now.
Space debris is a huge problem, by the way.
What does that mean?
There's like a bunch of trash and like from like all these satellites that we used to have that like stopped working, so they're just like flying through. So like the space station like constantly like adjusts course not hit all this shitty debris in
Can't we
space.
just clean it up?
Yeah, but then we have to send like a cleaning robot up there.
And that's not an option?
There's like millions of pieces of trash now.
Millions of pieces of trash on Earth, and we're trying.
Yeah.
God damn it, we ruined space too? How do we ruin space?
I know, man.
Fuck. Anyway. So what you're saying is this baby gonna get murdered.
It's gonna just get a lot of splinters.
By space debris.
Little splinters and like, yeah, you know, little pebbles are gonna hit him. He's big, man. That's a big baby.
We're not there yet. We don't know that the baby hatched. That's the after credit. Anyway.
Fuck.
Sorry about this
Ahead
guy.
of myself.
This fucking asshole. So at the end of the day, space embryo goes into space. Then Kathy Ireland, back from Blazen's wife, she comes in. They're actually married. And she's like, were you with my husband?
How did she know that Morty and Rick were with her husband? It makes no sense.
I mean,
I'm pissed.
I feel like all of Earth knows who they are. One.
Yeah, it's true. They're like
They
superheroes.
save and supervillains.
But then why do they live in a little suburb?
Maybe that's what they want, Chris. But anyway, so, and I feel like Blazen would have been like, hey, going on a mission to kill these space sperms. Also, the space sperms were like everywhere.
Yeah, that's true. He probably called, huh?
Like, I would hope you'd tell me if you were going into battle against some space sperms.
Would you let me?
No. She's like, did he tell you to not tell me that he was wearing my thong? No, she was like, was he wearing my thong? Oh, he probably told you not to tell me. You should always be honest. Sometimes it'll hurt people, sometimes it'll help, but you should always be honest. So Morty's like, okay, yeah, he was wearing your thong. She's like, oh, disgusting, gross man. And Morty was about to like talk about his lesson of being honest. He's like, I guess the lesson today. And Rick's like, shut up, Morty. I have my own epilogue. So then he's talking to the princess of the Chuds. He's like, you know, it's about time you made an honest man out of me. I'll be there. I'll do whatever I have to for this kid. And she's like, but Rick, it is time. So then she gives birth very easily. Right out. And then...
Is that how it is with horses?
I know they do it standing, but like...
Yeah, they're badass.
I don't know if it's that
Horses
easy.
are cool.
They are pretty cool. Why is that dimming?
He's starting to overheat.
Okay. Well, we'll get through it quickly. We're almost done. So then the baby pops out, and then he immediately, it looks just like Rick and
Yes.
as a horse. He digs under the ground. He's like, oh, that's it? And she's like, yeah, they're pretty much on their own from the time of birth. And he's like, oh, okay, well, I'll see you later then. And she's like, yep, bye. Best woman for Rick.
Yeah, he was like, great.
I mean, he was about to settle down for her. That's sick.
I know. Rick's a changed man. That shows it.
And then, let's see. And then it's the the credits.
Credits.
After credit scene, we see a astronaut in space, and he's like, you know, so much ease. It's sometimes hard for me looking back at Earth, thinking about the wife and the baby that she had to hold me down, and it's just a lot. And then you hear indistinct babbling, as the subtitles say.
Yes.
There's a giant fucking gross looking space baby.
Incest baby.
Incest space baby. It takes the astronaut and like is playing with him, but his oxygen tube disconnects, so he dies. And then the command central's like, God, I am not gonna miss that guy. So dramatic. Glad he's dead.
That was the episode.
And then that was the episode.
Yeah. I was like, a funny thing I forgot to mention is just really hilarious how, like, I get why Rick was like, thought it was the chuds or whatever. Like,
yeah.
'cause it's horse sperm. He knows that, blah, 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 right? But the president's just like, it fucking chuds. Like, even though he had no reason to think it's the chuds, he's like, it's the chuds.
Rick didn't think it was the chuds. He knew it was him.
Well, sure, but then why'd the president think it was the chuds?
Because they had a
war?
War with the fucking chuds.
But, like, okay, I think what I meant to say is the president doesn't know it was supposed to be horse semen. So, whereas Rick was,
I feel like the chuds have just been eating people a lot. So it's a pressing matter, and because I feel like he just wanted a reason to start a war with the chuds.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. If they're eating people and stuff, probably not good.
Yeah. Let's see. What else do I have? Why do both of those sperms look different? What's up with that? One of my favorite lines is towards the end. Rick is making out with the Chud princess, and he's like, oh, I love licking your horse teeth. It's like licking tile.
They probably don't, like, clean their mouths.
They're also people, Chris.
Yeah, it's true.
You don't know what they do. Sure, her teeth were pretty white.
They were.
Let's see. Oh, there's a scene. I could not read what I put.
You're like,
there's a scene where Jerry is pouring the water for the president, and he's like, all the way to the top, just how you like it. He poured it halfway. How's he still incompetent? How's Jerry so fucking incompetent? It's ridiculous.
I know. And he was excited because he had a job, because he hasn't had a job in forever. So he finally had, like, a purpose. Poor Jerry.
Jerry's purpose. Jerry's just fully comedic relief. There's always one character that's full comedic relief.
Love Jerry. He's my favorite character. I'm so glad he's still around. Like, there were a few seasons where he was, like, barely in there.
Well, yeah, they got a divorce. Well, they were separated. They're not divorced yet.
Made it easier, didn't it? To get back together.
Yeah. That's why most couples separate first.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, let's see. But in the beginning, I was like, this is fully going to be a dream sequence. In the in the intro before the beginning, the opening credits, I was like, this has to be a dream sequence. Like, how is this going to be a whole episode? It was not. It was not a dream, because it was just so out of the ordinary, even for Rick and Morty. I was like, no, this can't be it.
Yeah, it was a weird
But
one.
it was. Do you have any notes?
No, I covered everything. I checked.
Okay, because I have one more note, but it's like a doozy of one.
Ooh, I'm ready.
I have a theory that this is not our Rick. Or it's like, I feel like we're following a different Rick. Maybe it's to show like, oh, he's changing, but just something about the social issues aspect, that like every episode has had a very clear social issue that they're like jokingly touching upon.
Yeah.
And I don't remember the past ones, but I don't know. I just feel like this season they're really going with the social issues. Are there different writers? Is it because of like everything that's been going on politically? They're trying to like actually bring awareness to social issues while also like keeping up with like their jokes and like their cynicism and everything. Or is it just that like I now have to analyze a whole episode, so I'm noticing common themes more? I don't know. I don't think I'm that stupid that I wouldn't have before.
No, you're blowing my mind right now, Allie.
Right? Like it just feels very different than any other season.
It's so different.
Like specifically with how every single one has very clear social issues and a like common theme of one social issue that they touch upon.
Yeah.
In that, like they've always joked about like politics and like social issues, but like it seems like there's a very common theme in every single episode that like is kind of one of the backbones of that episode. And I'm not complaining at all. I just feel like it's very different.
Yeah.
So I feel like either they're not aware that it's very different feeling. There are different writers.
There are different writers.
Definitely.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like, Justin Roiland and Dan Harmon are barely, like, a part of the show anymore, from what I can tell. Like, it used to be, like, you know, like, the producers, the blah, blah, blah. Like, I feel like the only thing Justin does is do
his voice?
Voice acting.
I don't know. So that's my big question. Like, I don't...
Blowing my brain.
Is it a different writer, or are they that meta that they're hinting at this not being the same Rick?
Yeah. He's really changed.
Or is it just a season where we're trying... That's the common theme of the season.
Yeah, we got like 100 more episodes left, so maybe they just try and mix it up for each season or something.
I don't know.
It's weird. That's a good point. It blew my brain.
Yeah, I feel like I have to go back and like watch all of them.
Yeah, because I don't think they had social issues.
I feel like I would have at least
like,
noticed.
At all.
Not even, no, I think there were some, but I don't think it's been 4 episodes in a row like this.
Yeah, it's like the entire...
And again, I'm not complaining. I love that they're doing this. I don't think it takes away.
Mm-hmm.
It just feels like very different for Rick and Morty as a show. So that is my food for thought that I was thinking about.
It's good food.
I was in the bathroom before we started filming. I was thinking about it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I love that.
That's why it's the note before. Like, usually my first note is, like, my little cheat sheet for, like, the structure of the episode in every scene. But my first note is that because I was thinking about it in the bathroom before we rewatched the episode.
I love that. Yeah, this is weird. It's a weird one.
Isn't it?
It's a weird
really
season,
makes you think.
Weird episode. Blowing my brains again.
It's what I hope to do. I hope to make everybody think a little bit more about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm always open to think a little bit more from other people.
Yeah, comment below any theories or whatever so we can check them out.
Yeah. Well, anyway.
It was so fun.
Any last thoughts?
I can't wait to see the goddamn Jerry episode next week. God damn it. I guess tomorrow. I can't wait.
Jerry and Rick are going on an adventure.
It better not cut away to some other shit. I love Jerry so much. Anyway.
I hope it cuts away to this 7-horse pregnancy.
What?
That's what Beth has to go deal with.
Oh, you're right.
I think we're going to try and like post these a little earlier in the week.
Yeah.
Because to me it was like, oh, right, don't power off. Don't do it. Anyway, right before posting this right before the next episode, I feel like it's a whole week of people searching for the previous episode that we're missing out on. So we will try and post it a little earlier in the week. It might replace a day as the UncutAlly video.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Not that this isn't an UncutAlly video. We just might make this part of the 3-day week rather than on a Saturday. Who knows? Or we might just be lazy and keep posting this on the Saturday.
Yeah, who knows?
Anyway, thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Have a good day. Happy birthday. Bye.
Bye, everybody. Sippy showy, so in the sipping shows. Yeah.
You want this?